Billionaire installed a camera to watch her son. What the single dad employee did shocked her. The first time the billionaire saw her son smile again, it wasn't because of her. It was because of a man who worked for her, a man she barely noticed, someone she hired without a second glance. She only found out the truth when she installed a hidden camera inside her own mansion, desperate to understand why her little boy, who hadn't spoken in over a year, suddenly started laughing again. If you believe in kindness, in second chances, and in the power of love that comes from the most unexpected places, then please take a moment to like, comment, share, and subscribe to KH Stories. Your support helps us continue sharing stories that touch hearts like yours. Ava Langford was the kind of woman people only saw from a distance, cold, immaculate, unreachable. She was a billionaire by every definition, sharp, successful, and feared in boardrooms across the country. But behind the polished marble walls of her mansion lay a secret no one could fix, her 7-year-old son, Ethan, who hadn't spoken a word since his father's death 2 years ago. The house was silent, not with peace, but with grief. Every morning she'd leave for work with her heart aching, seeing her boy stare blankly out the window, clutching the same stuffed lion his father had given him. Therapists had failed. Expensive doctors offered hollow promises. The nannies never lasted more than a week, until one day a quiet man named Daniel Hale walked in. Daniel wasn't like the others. He didn't come with glowing letters of recommendation or polished suits. He was a single dad, humble and soft-spoken, who'd lost his wife in childbirth. He needed a job, any job, to support his own little girl. Ava hired him out of desperation, barely looking at his resume. She assumed he'd last as long as the rest a few days before walking out, unable to handle her son's silence. But something changed. Within a week, the house wasn't silent anymore. Ethan was different. The boy who used to flinch at every noise was now humming faintly, following Daniel around, even drawing pictures again. The staff whispered about how the boy smiled when Daniel was near, how the man spent hours reading aloud even though Ethan never replied. But Ava couldn't believe it. She thought the staff exaggerated, that maybe Ethan was just having a brief good phase. And so, driven by curiosity, and maybe a tinge of jealousy, she decided to see it for herself. She had a hidden camera installed in Ethan's playroom, disguised inside a bookshelf. She justified it to herself as concern for her son's safety, but deep down, she wanted to know why a stranger could reach her child when she, his own mother, couldn't. When she watched the footage that night, sitting alone in her dimly lit study, she wasn't prepared for what she saw. Daniel wasn't doing anything extraordinary. He didn't bribe Ethan with toys or force him to speak. Instead, he sat beside him on the floor, building small towers of blocks, whispering stories in a low, soothing voice. He told Ethan about his own daughter, about how she liked to draw suns with smiles and how she missed her mom. He wasn't afraid of silence. He let Ethan take his time. When the boy knocked over the blocks in frustration, Daniel didn't scold him. He laughed gently and said, "It's okay, buddy. Sometimes things fall apart so we can build something better." For the first time in months, Ava saw her son lift his head and look at someone with recognition. And then, something she thought she'd never see again, Ethan smiled. It was small, hesitant, but real. Ava froze, tears filling her eyes. The man she dismissed as just another nanny was healing her son in a way money never could. The next few days, Ava watched more footage. Daniel brought warmth into the house. He made pancakes shaped like animals. He sang off-key lullabies. He even took Ethan outside, holding his hand as they fed birds by the garden fountain, something Ethan had refused to do since his father's death. There was no pity in Daniel's eyes, only patience, only love. But one night, Ava saw something else on the camera that shattered her heart completely. It was late. The mansion was quiet. Daniel sat alone in the playroom after Ethan had gone to bed. He picked up one of Ethan's drawings, a stick-figure family with the mother crossed out, and whispered, "You're gonna be okay, kiddo. I know what it's like to miss someone who never comes back." Then he pressed his hand against his eyes, silently crying. Ava had to cover her mouth to stop herself from sobbing. That night she realized Daniel wasn't just helping Ethan. Ethan was helping Daniel too. For the first time in years, Ava questioned her own heart. All her life, she had believed success was the cure to pain, that if she worked hard enough, built enough, achieved enough, the emptiness would fade. But watching that man, who had nothing yet gave everything, changed something in her. The next morning, she didn't go to work. Instead, she stood quietly by the kitchen door, watching as Daniel flipped pancakes while Ethan giggled beside him. The sound of her son's laughter filled the house like sunlight breaking through clouds. Still, Ava didn't reveal what she knew. She wanted to understand more. She invited Daniel and his little daughter, Lily, to stay for dinner one weekend. It was awkward at first, Ethan hiding behind Daniel's leg, Lily shyly clinging to her father's hand. But as the evening went on, the four of them shared stories, laughter, and warmth. For the first time in a long while, Ava felt like her home wasn't just a mansion, it was alive. Weeks passed and life took on a new rhythm. Ethan began talking first small words, then sentences. His first full sentence came one afternoon while Daniel helped him fix a toy car. "Don't go," Ethan whispered as Daniel packed up his tools. The words were broken but clear. Daniel froze. He looked at Ava, who stood behind the door, tears running down her face. She didn't care that he saw her crying. For her, that single sentence was worth more than all her fortune. But life has a cruel way of testing hearts just when they begin to heal. One morning, Ava received a call from her legal team. A background check had finally come through. They found that Daniel had been fired from his last job after being accused of stealing equipment from a construction site. Ava's chest went cold. Her instincts screamed that it wasn't true, but her fear, her need to protect her son, took over. That evening, she confronted him, her voice trembling between doubt and anger. Daniel didn't defend himself. He just looked at her with hurt in his eyes and said softly, "I didn't take anything, but I get it, you have to do what you think is right." And he left. The next day, the house was silent again. Ethan refused to eat, refused to speak. Ava tried everything. But it was like her son's soul had retreated back into that dark place. Days later, she couldn't bear it anymore. She drove to Daniel's apartment, a small, worn-down building on the edge of the city. There she saw him fixing broken toys for neighborhood kids, using his own money to buy supplies. When she confronted the landlord, she learned the truth. Daniel had been framed by his supervisor for something he didn't do, and instead of fighting it, he had quietly walked away because he couldn't afford a lawyer. Standing there, Ava felt shame burn in her chest. For all her wealth, she had judged a man who was richer in heart than anyone she'd ever met. She walked up to Daniel, her voice shaking as she apologized. "I saw you on the cameras," she confessed, tears in her eyes. "I saw how you loved my son when I couldn't. I